Hello everyone, I'm Marina Norberde, and today I'm going to share you a brief history of UX design and its evolution. When you think about user experience design, it's a term we instantly associate with apps and websites, and especially when considering a typical job description of a UX designer, it can trick you thinking that it's modern concept. The term was first coined in 1993 by the cognitive psychologist and designer Don Norman when he worked at Apple Computer, but the UX field is older than that term. So I'm challenging you to explore me. I'm challenging you to explore me with the history of UX since it's crucial to understanding this field. If you're new to UX, this serves as a great introduction to the field, and if you're an experienced professional, it might just get you thinking differently. While you may view history as something you learned way back in high school, knowing our history can provide valuable insights into the future. So, let's have a look at user experience and its origins. 4000 BC, Feng Shui and the importance of space. The most basic principles of UX can be traced as far back as 4000 BC to the ancient Chinese philosophy of Feng Shui. It refers to the spatial arrangement of objects in relation to the flow of energy. In practice, Feng Shui is all about arranging your surroundings in the most optimal, harmonious, or user-friendly way, and it concerns everything from layout and framework to materials and colors. And under 500 BC, the ancient Greeks and ergonomics. Another trace of UX origins can be found in ancient Greece. There's evidence to suggest that in the 5th century BC, Greek civilization designed their tools and workplace based on ergonomics principles. But what does that have to do with UX? For those who don't know ergonomics, it is also known as human factors. It is a scientific discipline that considers how humans interact with other elements of a system, and the profession that applies theory, principles, data, and methods to design in order to optimize human well-being and overall system performance. So, in early 90s, Frederick Winslow Taylor and the Guest for Workplace Efficiency. Fast forward a few thousand years to early 90s, and we met Frederick Winslow Taylor, a mechanic engineer and the pioneer of Taylorism, on a mission to make human labor more efficient. Taylor conducted extensive research into the interactions between workers and their tools. In 1911, he wrote The Principles of Scientific Management, in which he claimed that systematic management is the solution to inefficiency. Although Taylorism was widely criticized for the way it reduced people to more cogs in a machine. So, in 1940s, Toyota and the value of human input. The next step on the timeline takes us to the 1940s, where Toyota and the Guest of Workplace Efficiency developed their famous human-centered production system. The Toyota production system was based upon respect for people, and much attention was paid to creating the optimal working environment. And just as important, human input was considered crucial and actively encouraged. Toyota factory work could stop the assembly line if they had feedback suggestions to improve the process, just like UX designers do while in usability testing. In 1955, Henry Dreyfuss and the Art of Designing for People. Another key figure in the history of UX design is Henry Dreyfuss, an American industrial engineer who was renowned for designing and improving the usability of some of the most iconic consumer products, including the Hoover vacuum cleaner and the table telephone. In 1955, Dreyfus wrote Designing for People, where he explains UX design in a nutshell. When the point of contact between the product and the people becomes a point of friction, then the designer has failed. On the other hand, If people are made safer, more comfortable, more eager to purchase, more efficient, or just happier by contact with the product, then the designer has succeeded. Last. And last, in 1995, Donald Norman gives UX design a name. In the 1990s, user experience was pretty much spread but missing an official label. As Donald Norman, a cognitive scientist, joined the team met Apple in the early 90s, he needed a term that would encompass all the UX is. As he explains, I invented the term because I thought human interfaces and usability were too narrow. I wanted to cover all the aspects of the person's experience with the system, including industrial design, graphics, interface, the physical interaction, and the human. So, as Apple User Experience Architect, Norman becomes the first person to have UX in his job title. In 1988, Norman published The Psychology of Everyday Things, later updated The Design of Everyday Things, which continues to be a UX design major reference to this day. And today, history in the making. Today, the term UX design has been buzzword in the tech industry in the last few years. It's rapidly growing field and expected to keep growing so much by 2050 that will dwarf anything we've seen so far. The main value driver in the future economy will be user experience, and I'm very confident in the future of the UX profession. What we've seen so far is nothing compared with SOCOM. Thank you for watching and I hope you like it.